us here today at the Dorchester, and thank you to our viewers joining us on Sky Sports. Over 2.5 years ago, we witnessed the first ever all-women's card in the history of this country. It ended up breaking records, selling out the O2, and really showed what women's boxing is not only in this country, but across the world. And now, Boxer and Sky Sports have teamed up yet again to do another all-women's card, this time featuring a different crop of fighters and champions, many of whom have joined us here at the Dorchester today. Firstly, we would like to thank you all for joining us. Thank you to our sponsors. I'd like to introduce those of you joining us. First, the hosts of today's press conference, first from Sky Sports, Mr. Andy Scott, and the CEO and founder and the promoter of this event for Boxer, Mr. Ben Shalom. And now I'd like to introduce the fighters that are going to be competing this Friday night at the Royal Albert Hall. First, we have a super welterweight contest featuring the reigning European champion. Please welcome Kirsty Babo Babington. Her opponent in that contest is making her professional debut from Bolton. Please welcome the 2024 Olympic bronze medalist, Cindy Ngamba. An all-women's card in this country cannot not feature a fan favorite. We'd like to welcome the undefeated fighter from Kent. Please welcome the billion-dollar baby, Francesca Hennessy. The next contest at the Royal Albert Hall this Friday night is for the European flyweight title. First, the challenger. Please welcome from Poland, Jasmina Zaporożna. Her opponent is the defending European champion from Birkenhead, England. Please welcome the undefeated Chloe Watson. Next is our Betfred fight of the night and is for the vacant British featherweight championship. First for Buckinghamshire, the nearly undefeated, current reigning and defending WBC international champion. Please welcome the Omen, Raven Chapman. And her opponent from Macclesfield, she is undefeated and she is the 2020 Olympic bronze medalist. Please welcome Karis Ardingstall. And now we move up to the top table. Our chief support bout is for the WBC Lightweight Championship of the World. First, the challenger. She comes to London all the way from Seoul, South Korea, with 18 victories, 10 of which by knockout. Please welcome the former WBC International Champion, Bowie Ray Shim. And her opponent, the defending champion from right here in London, she is undefeated with a record of 10 wins, no losses, and 1 draw. Please welcome the reigning, the defending WBC lightweight champion of the world, Sweet Caroline Dubois. And now the main event, the 2 women headlining this all-women's card from the Royal Albert Hall in London. I would like to welcome their trainers first joining us on the side of Lauren Price. Please welcome Rob McCracken. And on the side of Natasha Jonas, please welcome Joe Gallagher. And now the 2 women looking to unify the division, each bringing their own belts to the table. First, representing her home country of Wales, please welcome the undefeated, the Olympic gold medalist, the MBE, the first ever women's British champion, and the reigning defending WBA, IBO, and Ring Magazine welterweight champion of the world, Lauren Price. And finally, her opponent, one of the most decorated women in the world in this sport, from Liverpool, England. Please welcome the former unified super welterweight champion of the world, and on Friday, the current reigning, defending, unified IBF and WBC welterweight champion of the world, Miss GB, Natasha Jonas. Andy Scott, Ben Shalom, the floor is yours.
Big Mo, thanks very much. Terrific introductions and even better attendance today. If you look around the room, great to see so many members of the press here and so many supporters of the respective teams. What a card that Ben Shalom, Boxer, Sky Sports and the Royal Albert Hall will be hosting on Friday night. That's the key that we want to keep getting across, Friday night, because you do not want to miss it. What a title for this card as well, Unstoppable. It feels like everything is unstoppable. Some of the fighters that have been mentioned are unstoppable. The continued wave of fighters that are coming through is unstoppable, and everything just seems to be growing and crescendoing on Friday. It's looking great. You know, we've been in this position a few weeks ago out in Saudi Arabia, and you hope that the card stays together. Got no reason to believe it won't. But Ben Shalom, you must be really happy with the build that you put together for this. Some really good pick-em fights and some great talent on show as well.
Yeah, just Big Mo going through it then sends shivers down you. I think the amount of talent on this card, the amount of fighters, the amount of fights, 50 fights all the way through, it just shows where the sport has come. Royal Albert Hall, 100 years of boxing, Muhammad Ali, Lennox Lewis, Frank Bruno. The first time we're going to see a female fight headline the card. It feels like history, it really does. An all-female card as well. And the card itself, I think Natasha Jonas was the first GB fighter to represent our country in 2012, and so to be here 13 years later and to have this card and have the divisions now so stacked, probably because of what Natasha and Katie represented, what they achieved. I know Chloe Watson on the card started boxing because of Natasha Jonas, so to see it come full circle is amazing. And in the past 2 or 3 years, where women's boxing has got to is phenomenal. It's one of the few sports where women can really compete with the men, with viewing figures, with commercials, with venues, and I've got to thank Sky Sports, I've got to thank Royal Albert Hall, because without them we don't get something that is truly historic on Friday night, and thanks to the fighters, because they're all putting their careers on the line in career-defining fights.
Well, from top to bottom, there's talent breaking through, and I want to start with, in no particular order, but Francesca Hennessy, great to have you here, great to have you on the bill. We should just say there is a late change of opponent for you, Fran, just because of some unfortunate visa issues. So in steps Gemma Rueg. Not that it makes a difference to you, I'm sure. I've spoke to you and your dad, and you're both chomping at the bit. And what was the line that you gave us yesterday, that you want to take the roof off the Royal Albert Hall? Tell us how you go about doing that.
Oh, look, I live in the boxing gym, I love to fight. As long as I'm focusing on myself, I don't care who's in front of me. So, yeah, I'm ready. Gemma's a strong, tough opponent. She won a title in her last fight, and I'm just ready to go and put on a show at a historic event.
Yeah, you mentioned the title that she won. Obviously, I think anyone that's watched her fights, we've had her on Sky Sports a couple of times. She comes to win, she's tough, and you're going to have to be on your A game if you're going to get to where everyone keeps telling us that you want to get to and you're destined to get to. You can't afford any slip-ups against the likes of Gemma Rueg.
Oh no, definitely not. But as I said, I'm ready. I focus on myself. I work hard, I train hard, I'm feeling great, and I'm ready to put on a show on Friday night and make the Royal Albert Hall electric.
Yeah, I just touched on it briefly yesterday, but your dad is pretty much, been in every boxing venue. He knows what the significance of the Royal Albert Hall brings. Has he discussed that with you? I get the impression, whether it's a stadium, whether it's your call, you want to sort of bring that touch of, sparkle that we've seen from you, be it the ring walk, be it the performance, to do that at Royal Albert Hall, that's a nice dynamic for it.
Oh, definitely. It's got to be extra special for this one, hasn't it? It's a great venue to tick off the bucket list, and I'm so happy to be performing in that venue amongst, loads of greats have fought here in the past, and as you said, my dad's been there many times over the years, so it just feels great to fight there, and I'm going to put on a very special performance for everyone.
Great to have you here. We're expecting to see Gemma Rueg tomorrow, so we'll catch up with her then. Down to the other end of the table, Kirsty Babington, got that European title in front of you, two-time holder of that. We know exactly what you bring to the table, but you're in a strange dynamic against a debutant in Cindy Ngannou. I put that to you yesterday. I wonder how that sits with you. Yes, a fight is a fight, but with the experience that you've got under your belt, do you believe that perhaps, a seasoned professional like yourself, the fact that they've chosen you for a professional debut opponent is a sign of disrespect, or it's not that deep?
It's not that deep. I wanted to be on this platform, so I'm glad that I'm here. I'm ready to cause an upset again and make a statement.
Is that what motivates you, turning up, causing the upset, upsetting the odds?
Yeah, I love being the underdog. I love the underdog mentality. I've got nothing to lose. Confidence is high. I'm buzzing to be around. A person said I'm jumping around, so I'm confident and I'm ready to go. And it's an 8 round at the end of the day. And I just want to get in there and show them what I'm about.
What do you know about Cindy in terms of how she might approach this. She obviously had got no pro fights to go against, but in terms of an amateur, she's got a terrific reputation.
Yeah, I mean, I've followed Cindy for a few years now. I mean, all respect to her. But you know, the programme's a little bit different, time experience, so we'll see what it's like when we get in there with 10-ounce gloves and no head guard, so we see how we get on.
Cindy, I'll give you a chance to sort of answer that. 10-ounce gloves and no head guard, is that something that you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to my debut. There's no difference. Boxing is boxing to me. I know what I'm capable of, I know my skills, and I know what I can achieve. This is what I want. I want to be thrown into the deep end, and she's an opponent at the end of the day, and I'm ready to get the game rolling. There's no hard feeling to all of it, really. It's just another fight that I have to get out of the way to move, to keep on achieving many aims and goals in my pro journey.
Do I have to ask you, if people didn't follow your Olympic journey and they haven't studied you when you were an amateur, what do you think that you'll bring to the pro game specifically?
Even before the Olympic, my goal was to turn pro, but obviously the Olympic was the main one that I feel like is to even qualify for the Olympic is the most hardest thing ever. And to even be at the Olympic and face the best of the best that itself is not the hard step, and I was able to overcome that. So I'm not saying that the pro scene is going to be easier. Obviously, it's going to be challenging, but I've proven that in the amateurs, and I'm going to prove that in the pros too.
We know you're a proud member of that refugee team, but also very, very much aligned with Team GB. And I think those of us that have seen you on the circuit, sparring the likes of Chantel Cameron, Tasha Jonas, Lauren Price, Savannah Marshall, you will have been in with world champions. How far away do you think that realistically will be for you? Do you set yourself a ceiling or a goal that you think you can get to world championship level sooner rather than later?
Definitely, like you said, I've been in with the best of the best. I've shared many rounds and minute with all of them. All of them are amazing female boxers: Natasha Jonas, Savannah Marshall, Lauren Price, and Chantel Cameron. And I got as many experience round with all of them. But if you speak to most of all of them, they will tell you what I'm capable of and my ability. And also deep down, I know myself of what I'm capable of. Like I said before, I've shown that at the Olympic, and on Friday I'm going to show that again.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it, and it's great to have you on the card. That's Cindy Ngamba, Kirsty Babington, really looking forward to that one. Chloe Watson and Jasmina Zakochna, we're looking forward to this European flyweight title. Jasmine, come to you first. if we could come to you first, just set this up for us, because it was a relatively late addition to the card, but everybody has been telling us on the scene how this should be a really good style matchup. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how confident you are coming into this fight.
So first of all, everyone knows that this fight's going to be a big fight, because knowing me and Chloe, we had a lot of sparring together, a lot of rounds, tough rounds. After beating Maisie Rose, there was an opportunity to fight for European title with Chloe. Unfortunately, due to her injury, it has been postponed. But yeah, we were looking forward. I was looking forward to another fight, another date, and yeah, here I am with Chloe on Royal Albert Hall, and I'm just I'm so excited. I'm so happy and so grateful to be part of this big show. It's going to be very, very enjoyable to watch fight on Friday night.
How do you go about beating Chloe? And it's always an interesting dynamic when you've done loads of rounds together. It means that you know her strengths, but you probably have identified some weaknesses as well.
Yeah, of course, I know what I'm capable of. I'm believing myself, in the end of the day, I did everything what I could to be the best version of myself. So on Friday, just a better fight to win, and we'll see who's going to be. But I believe in myself a lot.
You probably welcome that, Chloe, don't you? This is Jasmina's shot window as well, in terms of coming off a great win against Maisie Rose, to jump up to your level. You see this as a platform yourself to sort of shoot yourself into the mainstream spotlight as well.
Yeah, 100%. She just mentioned before, we've done many rounds with each other, and people are going to be in for a treat on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, we love a sparring story, and we'll probably come to that in other fights on the bill later on, but what are those spars particularly like? I sort of asked Jasmine the same question there. You can identify strengths, but also you will have seen some weaknesses. Do you mind sharing where you feel that you can win this fight?
Yeah, we've had good spars, and but the spars different from a fight, and look, it's going to be a really, really good fight on Friday. But yeah, I'm just ready to turn up. All the hard work's being put in, and I'm feeling good.
Ben Sean mentioned it in the intros, and I don't want to take us down a complete tangent, but there's that great photo of Tasha coming to your school, and am I right to say that you didn't know that you went to the same school until she actually visited, and that was one of the key moments in your development?
Yeah, so I actually seen her in the paper like the week before, and then the next week I was seeing her in my school, so it's crazy. But yeah, when she came in and spoke to me about the opportunities within the sport, it really gave me a kick and give me just a boost.
Yeah, awesome. I do appreciate that.
Maybe when I was getting up.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
It gave me a little boost to take it seriously, and yeah, here I am.
Yeah, I mean, boxing's full of these stories, isn't it? But it is nice that it goes full story. You're up the top table, and Chloe, I'm sure it won't be long before you're up on the top table yourself. What a great sort of circle of boxing that is. Moving on, Raven Chapman and Karis Artingstall. Really, really looking forward to this one. Raven, we spoke at length yesterday, and I think a lot of people could see this as another style matchup, which again has all the ingredients that it could steal the show. How motivated are you to get past Karis in a fight that now houses for the first time in history the British featherweight title as well?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Like I say, I think it's a really good clash of styles. I think we're both good boxers, we're both aggressive, and I think that makes for a really good fight. There's a title on the line now, which will, I'm sure, make the hunger in both of us even more. We both won that belt, and I'm just looking forward to getting in there on Friday and getting the job done.
Where do you see your strengths against Karis?
I've got a bit more experience than Karis in the pros, but I think me doing what I do best is strength in itself, and will overcome whatever Karis has to bring.
You've had a bump in the road, obviously, last time out, but it was against world-class opposition for a world title. What have you taken away from that whole experience that you feel that you've improved on?
There was a lot to learn in that experience. Obviously, not only that, also being in Saudi Arabia, massive fight card, lots going on, which was a new experience for me as well. So yeah, we learned a lot from it, but that's in the past. This is a different fight. Being me again in the gym, I've been working hard, and I feel really good this week.
Will you give us a prediction? How do you win this fight?
Well, I think obviously I believe in myself, so I believe I'll win. We'll see what happens on the night. I'm not going to say there's going to be a stoppage, because normally when you're looking for a stoppage, that's not when it comes, but who knows, we're both hard hitters. But I know I'm going to get that win, I'm going to get my arm raised, and that belt will be around my waist.
Wish you all the best of luck. Karis, presumably you echo and welcome those sentiments from Raven. They're a confident camp, and they're saying all the right things, and I wonder in your career if this is a sort of injection of pace that you need.
I just believe, when you sat up on this table, you say what people are going to back themselves and say they're going to win, etc, etc. I'm going to sit here now and say I'm going to win. If you're going to ask me the question, how does it play out? How do I see myself winning? I just believe I box Raven. I'm just a better boxer, and I just think I outbox her. I stick to what I do best, and I believe I get my hand raised at the end of the night.
You're quite hard on yourself after fights, usually in the post-fight interview situation. Would you concede that we've seen flashes of what you're capable of, but we haven't perhaps seen the full package yet?
Yeah, definitely. I believe, as people say, the better the opponent in front of you, the better the performance that you'll get from, talking about myself obviously. I haven't performed to the best of my ability at the minute. I know what I'm capable of doing. I know the talent I've got. You don't just get up on the wall and get an Olympic medal for no reason. I know what I'm capable of doing, and I'm ready to showcase that on Friday.
And I think we've sort of spoken in the past about where you see yourself getting to, that you feel that you can get to world title level, win a world title, and get in amongst the names like Sky Nicholson? Does that still is that still an ambition of yours to get that done in the next 12 months?
Yeah, definitely, but I'm not looking past Raven Chapman on Friday. I've got a fight to get through on Friday night. One I believe I'm fully capable of winning, but that is my main focus. But I need to get through Raven to be getting my hands on some of them shiny belts behind me, and that's what drives me. That's where I want to be. I want to be the best in my weight category. Raven Chapman's an obstacle in front of me right now, and that's the one that my full attention and focus is on.
Okay, we look forward to that contest. Up to the top table, I'm going to go to my left first, to the challenger, Bomi Ray Shin, who has got Billy here to translate. Can you just tell us about your journey to this point and how excited and what we can look forward to on Friday?
저는 어렸을 때부터 복싱을 하진 않았고 성인이 돼서 시작하긴 했는데 그때부터 지금까지 포기하지 않고 끝까지 해왔습니다.
So I wasn't the case like where I started boxing since I was young. I started boxing when I became an adult, and I tried my best all the time, and here I am.
What is the best way to beat Caroline Dubois?
그냥 제가 평소에 하던 대로 하는 게 가장 좋다고 생각합니다.
Being here, I just think just doing always what I've been doing would be the best way.
We've seen fights of yours in the past. You do bring a very aggressive style. Do you plan on using that aggressive style on Friday, or have you got something different planned?
네.
Yes.
That's a nice way to finish it. Caroline, your response to some of the things you've heard there. I mean, I presume you welcome this sort of affair, this sort of pressure, come forward, meet me in the middle of the ring. Do you believe that she will back that up?
We'll see, talk is cheap. To be fair, she hasn't done much talking, but she's here, and I just take it as, every time I step in the ring, I don't know if it's arrogance, I don't know if it's confidence, I don't know what it is, but, I feel like it's an audacity to think that she can beat me, I don't know where she's getting that from. I don't know who's filling her head and where she's getting it and what she thinks that she has over me, but, it's audacious to think that she thinks she can get in the ring and beat me, because she ain't better than me.
I know you might just brush it off, but what have you got to be wary of?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
I step in the ring and I beat me, I believe I have the ability to stop this girl, and that's what I do, I don't just come in the ring to put in a performance and outbox people and go through the motions. Every time I step into the ring, I put a personal ambition. I get frustrated when, the amount of times I've come out the ring and I'm frustrated with myself, and, if I don't get in the ring and, people aren't saying my name, saying, wow, like Caroline Dubois, she's something special. She's not just here to take part, she's here to take over. These belts, these are mine, and for both to think that she's going to come here and just take them from me like that, she's got nothing coming.
It was the most one-sided technical draw that we've seen, I think that's fair to say. Did you feel any sense of unfulfillment last time, or is it just, it's the results column, but I think everybody that saw the fight would probably have a different perspective. I wonder what your perspective on it is.
No, listen, as I said before, every time I step into the ring, it's about performance, it's about putting on a performance, and I feel like when I left the ring, it was my name that people were saying. I feel like I put on a great performance. I did everything that on my side that I could do. The results are the results. I can't change the rules are what they are. So that's not my job. My job is to turn up and kick ass.
Yeah, she's number one with the WBC, but is the goal this year, over the next 12 months?
Undisputed, 100%. Undisputed, or jumping by the end of this year, maybe early next year at the latest, but this time next year I want to be undisputed queen of the 145-pound division.
I love that. Don't even have to finish the question. Hopefully we can carry that on as we make our way to the main event. Bring in Ben Shalom. it felt like a natural fight to make from all the build-up that we've seen. You know, people were disputing who wanted to fight who when they wanted to fight, but now we're here. I think it just represents a brilliant all-British domestic unification that everybody's really sort of got up for. I wonder if you've even been surprised with the reaction to the fight and how it's built to this point now and how much you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, look, it was a fight we wanted to make. I think it's the two best welterweights in the world, but it's the biggest all-British female fight ever. And so to be able to put this on, to be able to put it on in Royal Albert Hall, to have people like Natasha Jonas, who for me has done more for women's boxing than any other British fighter in this country, and for her to be 13 years on from the Olympics headlining events, still being at the forefront of the sport is phenomenal. And then you look to her opponent, Lauren Price, MBE, gold medalist. I won't say she's never lost a round because Joe Gallagher might have purple, but she has never lost a round. And she's a phenomenal talent, and again, it's two ambassadors that this sport needs. It's two ambassadors coming together. It's two big now rivals as to who's going to take the #1 spot. And yeah, phenomenal event for women's boxing, phenomenal event for boxing, and could be one of the fights of the year.
Well, welcome to both champions. Tasha, I'll come to you first. I wonder how this compares to everything that's gone before. I often hear fighters say, you know, it's just another fight week, it's just another fight, a ring is a ring. But how does this fight compare to the others, would you say, in terms of the eyeballs that are on it, the traction that it's got? You know, there seems to be been a lot of talking already done, and what you've made of it all.
Yeah, I'm just, yeah, it is just that though. It is just another fight, and I'm not trying to put pressure on myself and build it up into anything other than when we get in the ring, it's just me versus Lauren. None of the other noise matters, and the best woman will win. That's it.
Yeah, well said. You did say in the gloves are off, it means more to Lauren than it does to you. Do you think that that's been reflected in the build-up? You know, you kind of just flat-batted that back there. It is just another fight week to you, but do you believe that to Lauren, that it's not? It does mean more to her than it does to you?
Yeah, because for a win for Lauren means I'm the best name on the record. A win for me, I don't believe it means the same thing.
Joe Gallagher spoke at length yesterday on the Toe to Toe podcast, which I implore everybody to go and download and enjoy. But one of the things he said that both of you have brought into camp is this Marvin Hagler type mentality where you both view that Lauren's trying to take food off your table, that you have adapted a siege mentality, which actually Joe pulled me up on in the first press conference and said we actually haven't got that. But yesterday it was very clear that perhaps, you know, you've pulled the doors down and it's us against the world, and what difference that's made in camp.
I think it's always, like I say, once you get in the ring, it's just you versus the other person, but there's a little bit more behind this one. There's a little bit that I want to prove myself right.
Yeah, how does that sit with you? Because there is perhaps more opinions and more debate that doesn't always favour your side with this one, and I wonder if shutting a few people up is one of the main motivating factors, or is it outside noise is not that important?
No, it's not that important, to be honest. I'm a bit too long in the tooth, I won't say old, to be bothered by social media and boxing fans, and everyone is entitled to an opinion, and some of them are justified, some of them aren't, but I'm just going to do what I do and prove myself right.
Yeah, motivated to prove a point, I think was the line that you used.
Yeah.
If I bring in Lauren Price, I mean, the build-up has been great, is one thing I'd say. It's probably quite new to you, this level of, as a pro, I'm not talking about the Olympic Games or anything like that, but as a pro, this is probably the biggest build-up that you've had. How have you found it on your side? You've probably had to do a bit more talking than you would normally have had to do. What have you made of stuff that's been coming from the other side as well?
Yeah, obviously, you know, it's a great fight, and I'm proud to be part of it. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm in a great place, mentally and physically. Obviously, you know, the outside noise is irrelevant. When that bell goes on Friday, there's two of us in there, and they're the best women win.
How do you think, I echo what Johnny Nelson said on the gloves are off, you won't know until it's happened, but how do you think you will cope if you do start losing runs, if you do have a cut, if you do have a crisis? I know you're not planning on that, but how do you cope with that, and why are you so confident that it won't be a problem?
You know, I've had a good camp, but I think the biggest thing, you know, in this game is staying cool, calm, collected, staying composed, and if that happens,
then we go again. You know, I've got a great team in me. Go back to the corner, take instructions, and whatever. But I believe in myself, I know how good I am, and I believe I win this fight, and that's it.
How important is the man on your shoulder in terms of keeping you grounded? One thing that's come from the other side is they feel there's some overconfidence there. Is that true? Are you looking past Tasha Jonas, looking already towards the undisputed fight that would perhaps await the winner on both sides?
No, definitely not. You know, I respect Tasha, I've said that all along. And, you know, I'm grateful to be up at Sheffield and have Rob train me. Obviously, he's a great trainer, but a great friend as well, and I put my fully trust in him. And, you know, we've got a great relationship. And, yeah, you know, like I said, I just believe in myself, he believes me, and I'll show everyone on Friday night how good I am.
Let's bring in two great trainers. I'll start with Joe Gallagher. I can probably put a few points to you that were made by you yesterday. You feel there's been some disrespect in terms of the narrative of this fight. Do you want to explain any of that?
No, really generally just disappointed really yesterday. Obviously, first of all, before I start all this, I just want to thanks for everyone for coming up. It's a privilege to be on the top table there, and I think I mentioned I was at the presser beforehand with Robert years ago when we were in the Lennox Lewis College, and he was training John O'Donnell and Lenny Dawes and I, John Murray. Who would thought so many years later we'd be sat here with two of the best in the division going head to head with each other. Yeah, I'm usually a big fan of Cinder, just one to look out for. And there's a Karen Dubois who the talker. Oh my God, I just feel like rubbing a bit of that gold in it before I put my foot in things. I like the way that you talk. So, yeah, one other thing that I'd like to say. I'd like to pass on my condolences, I think everyone in the room will share, on Kevin Hickey, MBE, who passed away, and at his funeral yesterday. Kevin Hickey was a major part of where GB boxing is now. He was involved in 5 Olympic Commonwealth cycles. He was instrumental in setting up the GB, giving Rob, Richie Woodall their opportunities, and I just felt it was fitting here with all the women and how things have changed. That thoughts and prayers are to him and his family at this time.
Yeah, very well said, and I think everybody in the room would echo
No, just yesterday, it's just been a fight week, and you'll come down and you're assigned to be at a place at 11 o'clock, and you have a head-to-head, and whether it be Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois or Tyson Fury Usyk, it's just a size fight week, and to come downstairs and do a check weigh at 10:30 and then be told, oh, Lauren's not here for the photo shoot at 11, and just thought, smacked a little bit of disrespect, and I don't know the reasons for or whatever and anything else, but I got the memo last week, everyone got the memo, everyone got the schedule this week, and I was just thought it was a bit bang that board, a bit the disrespect from Lauren and the team, and there's no excuses, she's just got people around her. Obviously Rob's a fantastic coach, obviously he's been involved with 2 of the best fighters for years, with Carl Froch and Anthony Joshua, and he understands fight week and the obligations of fighters on fight week, and for not turning up, I just thought it was a bit out of order that I was yesterday.
Did you suggest yesterday on our stream that you felt that Lauren was struggling at the weight? That was one of the reasons you suggested. Did you want to address that?
Quite a struggle at it.
I mean, it was something that you said you felt...
No, to the point I was saying, the motion hasn't come down, because the motion we're doing the last little bit of weight off, motion we're having the board in Sheffield do the check weight up there instead of coming down to London and doing the check weight. That was all. I couldn't think of no other reason why she wouldn't be here not to do it.
No, I don't struggle at weight. Obviously, I based myself in Sheffield. I haven't been home to Wales. I was training with Rob on Saturday. We actually had a phone call with Sky, and I was told, yeah, you don't need to be in London at 11 on Tuesday, because I had a check weight from the Boxing Board of Control at 9:30 in Sheffield, come down for 4 o'clock. That's what I was told. So it was a cross communication. All I've done is be respectful in this fight. I'm not disrespectful. So you take it how you want to take it, but that's it.
Yeah, no problem. We'll all blame Sky then.
Sounds about right, doesn't it? Sounds about right, yeah.
Sorry, Sky, I didn't say it.
Not quite sure what's happened there. I think sounds like a miscommunication.
Staying quiet.
Yeah, I'm staying quiet.
Rob, do you mind if I bring you in? That was a great argument. That said a lot of praise, and then hit you with the the counter punch at the end there. I mean,
no, listen, we'd be annoyed if we got kept waiting around. There's a big miscommunication and probably I'm the villain in the piece, to be honest, because the advice I was given was it's going to be pushed back till later. So apologies for Joe and Natasha hanging around and coming down the night before. Probably I'll take that one on the chin, but it's not intentional. Natasha knows me, I wouldn't dream of doing it.
what have you made of the build-up? It's there's a lot of new eyeballs on this. There's a lot of hype around it. It's the desire to prove who is the best at £147. Why is Lauren Price, in your eyes, the best fighter of the two up here?
I think I'll answer your question, and then I'll just say that I can understand where Natasha and Joe's coming from with this fight, because she's achieved so much as a professional. She's at the top of her sport, and then you get somebody come through who's fairly new, 2 or 3 years as a pro, and has sort of moved really quickly. So I can understand why they're not annoyed, but they're a little bit put out that there's pressures to fight Lauren Price, and then obviously then you get people saying, Lauren's going to win this, etc. And suddenly it's like, I've done all this work to get here, and now people are doubting me. So I understand where they're coming from. But look, you asked me the question. Lauren's, Natasha was fantastic on the programme, and Dubois, she got on to have a fantastic professional career. Two brilliant female fighters, in my opinion, are going to fight on Friday night. It'll be a fantastic spectacle. But just in my boxing experience, Lauren Price is phenomenally talented. What she's done as an amateur, it gets possibly doesn't get so much of a spotlight on it as professional boxing. But when you look at the females in Olympic boxing, lots of them are pros, lots of them are world champions, and it's as tough as it gets. So I think that she served her apprenticeship in that sport to prepare her for these occasions. And you've seen some of the Olympic Games and World Championships that she won, and the people she had to fight as a really, really good fighter. So it's prepared her mentally and physically. She's not 21. She's a mature female, so she's at her peak and she's ready. And my experience tells me that when you're young in pro boxing and you feel ready, that's when you should go for it, because pretty soon you kind of like, I'll try and swerve that fight, and I'll try and take this one, because you get fed up with the training, you get fed up with making the weight, it all becomes very difficult. Separate, obviously, with these two, they're both at the peak of their powers. Natasha's been remarkable in recent performances. But like I say, you asked me the question, Lauren Price is a phenomenal female boxer, and has got huge potential, and that's it from my experience.
Just to go back to you, Joe, one of the things that you said yesterday blew my eardrums up was you feel that there's an unjustifiable hype around Lauren Price.
Robbie just reminded me of there when he was in the position with Carl, and Carl had been an unbelievable servant for everyone around the world, and then you had I wouldn't say an upstart, but a young, cocky George Groves telling him when he's got to knock that Carl down and all that type of stuff. So yeah, Rob gets it and I get it, and I think that's where that comes from as well. I think also the agenda and the narrative that everyone's trying to have with Lauren is that she's this unbelievable fighter, hasn't lost this, and this Ivan Drago type of character, and it's like, that's not the case. It's just not the case whatsoever. And I feel, obviously, on Friday night, listen, Lauren keeps saying she's younger, faster. Yeah, David A thought he was till Carl Thompson at age 40 knocked him out. You can't beat experience in the ring, and that's what's got to happen on Wednesday night. And all the sound bites and everything else, I've not lost a minute, I've not lost a round, I've not lost this, but you will lose a round, and if the referee does his job, most should we get a point took off with his head or holding, and then we got hurt, and then that's when the fight happens. There's one thing with Lauren, when I've gone through all her career and studied her and watched her, and I cannot knock her for it. She's got grit. She can't achieve what she's achieved in life, either football, kickboxing and boxing, without that grit, that desire and tenacity. She has got that. But then it comes to boxing, there's just a little bit of seasoning, there's a bit of experience, there's a little bit of that, and Natasha has that. So when I reflect back and say people like Bernard Hopkins and people like when Pavlik was coming through, and like Carl in the end, he ended up doing George Groves at Wembley. Do you understand? You just can't buy that little bit of experience. And listen, as Lawrence just said there, she lives in Sheffield, she's in that bubble, she's there all the time, but she's out of the bubble Saturday night, and this will be a fight for her Saturday night.
You're making the same mistake on Friday?
Friday night, yeah, sorry, Friday night. And listen, she is good, and you can't deny it. Olympic gold medalist, what can you do? Natasha made points saying, yeah, when everyone moved on, and Terry Hart and all that stuff, but you just got to look at form, and when I've studied her, and against Southpaws, there's a few of them that she couldn't really work out, and a form guide against fellow Southpaws isn't the best. She avenged one in the Olympics, I feel, on violin. She never beat Ariana Fonten, and that was a couple of times. And there is, for everyone that's building up this character and this Ivan Drago, there is flaws, and people say, yeah, but Natasha's been knocked out. But we're not portraying Natasha as like Clubber Lango, Mr. T, that didn't go and get beat, do you understand? We know our vulnerabilities, we know where we are, but just by keep hyping and creating this narrative about Lauren, you half disrespect half what Natasha did. Well, half get it, and it's part of the fight and part of the build-up. But that's what I'm saying. Just remember back, David Hay come out of the Worlds, flying, took him Carl Thompson, who was age 40, and thought he'd do it, and that's what happened. And you can't buy the experience, and this is what's going to happen on Friday night. It's invaluable. Rob knows, obviously being there with Carl against George, and like I said to you, it's a great 50-50 fight. Everyone's got to tune in. It's got to be a brilliant event, and the atmosphere, obviously having Liam Williams fight Liam Smith in the past. I know how passionate how the Welsh fans are when they come up. I know how passionate the Scousers will be, and people that will be in there. They like the atmosphere of electricity, and that's another pressure point. Now we're in a fight. I feel Natasha and Katie and Michaela Meyer has had them tests, do you understand? And there's a lot of questions to be asked more on Lauren Friday night than there is on Natasha Jonas.
One answer that is. Do you want to go back? That was
Likes to talk, doesn't he? I know.
I told you she'll let Caroline talk.
I don't know where to start.
I think I'll just quickly, Joe, just coming back only on a small point. I think you're right, and you know, Natasha's had her challenges and stepped up. This is Lauren's challenge. We're not daft. Natasha's the best opponent she's fought as a professional, and you've got to challenge yourself as a professional. And if you keep taking the fights that you think, oh, I'll definitely win that, I'll definitely win that. So I think it's ambition, it's drive, it's belief, and you know, she's got to step up, and she understands that. And obviously Natasha's got all that experience waiting for her in the ring when we get in there. So it's going to be a brilliant fight, and yeah, for female boxing, I think it's fantastic.
Just a quick one, can I just come back on that, because I don't know who's behind this. Ben tells one thing, so not another. I've seen Lauren saying she wants to fight champions all last year, and you said question the desire. But where was the challenge for Sandy Ryan when she was world champion? Where was the challenge to Michaela Meyer? I just feel...
No one wanted to fight me.
Well, Ben, that's not what Ben.
It is true. It has been hard to get fighters like that to fight.
So Michaela Meyer on social media.
Yeah, she didn't want it.
Michaela didn't want that.
Do you want to
about to blow up X?
Do you want to go back to one point there that Joe was making about you against Southpaws? Any stupid question, stupid answer, but any concerns there? Any truth in what you're saying?
No, it doesn't matter, you know, Southpaw, Orthodox, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm experienced, I faced all different styles. That's the great thing about amateur boxing. You travel the world, people don't understand the level of it. You come across all different oppositions for bigger people. So yeah, regardless whether it's Southpaw or Orthodox, you know, I've been in there, I've had a great camp, I've had great sparring. And like I keep saying, I'm mentally and physically in a great position, and I'll show how good I am on Friday night.
The best way to end these things usually is to ask the two main event fighters to give one final message to each other. This time I would say, just make your final case why you win this fight direct to each other. If you want to go first, Tash, or you know, it is Jonas Price, so you go second if you want. I'll give you the choice.
No, it doesn't make any difference to me. I think, you know, experience, accuracy, timing, and boxing IQ is why I win. But I do believe she'll bring the best version of her. I'm prepared for that, and I'm going to bring the best version of me. She'll be prepared for that, and the best will not win.
I'll give you the same opportunity. Your message to Natasha Jonas on why you will win.
Too quick, too good, too young. That's it really. I believe in myself, and I'll be getting my hand raised on Friday.
Okay, unless anybody's got anything else to add, I don't think that there is anything.
Just lastly,
I can't wait for after the fight so we can say we were just too old, too slow, and too good.
Just lastly, I think there's about 150 tickets left. It will sell out on Friday night. It's an unbelievable card. This main event, two, you know, legends of trainers, two unbelievable fighters. It's a 50-50 fight. The atmosphere, as you say, the Liverpool, the Scousers, and the Welsh fans coming down, it's going to be spectacular in Albert Hall. We will see you on Friday.
If you haven't consumed the Shoulder programming, it's all across on demand on Sky Sports and YouTube. Go and check it out. There's gloves are off and behind the ropes. And of course, now we'll post for the face-offs that we can, and we'll be back here for the weigh-in. And of course, Friday night at the Royal Albert Hall, it is unstoppable.